Good afternoon and welcome to the group exhibit Hydrogen and Fuel Cells at the Hanover Fair 2012. Please do come in and sit down. We've got some fairly comfortable seats and some drinks available for you on the house, plenty of room. We've got an interesting talk for you right now that's titled Latest Technology for Electrolysis, given by Filip Smeets, who is the Managing Director of Onsite Generation from Hydrogenics. Please join me in welcoming him on stage.
Hi, Christine.
Welcome. So to start, could you please give us an introduction to your division, Onsite Generation, and how it fits within Hydrogenics?
Okay, maybe it's good that I explain a little bit Hydrogenics. So Hydrogenics is a stock-quoted company. Our stocks are quoted on the NASDAQ and on the Toronto Stock Exchange. We have basically two businesses at Hydrogenics. One is focusing on power systems, fuel cells, and another one is focusing on on-site generation, water electrolysis for a whole range of applications. There are the industrial applications where you exploit the functionality of hydrogen for hydrogenation purposes, or as a coolant for power plants, the generation cooling of power plants. And then hydrogen is also being used as a reducing agent in various number of mature industrial applications. And then of course there are the new applications, hydrogen for transport applications, transport tools. And then the renewable energy storage applications, power to gas is a word or a saying that we hear very often the last couple of months and is very alive since the last year in Germany, in North America and in Japan.
Okay, so your core product within your group, I believe, is alkaline electrolysis. Is that correct?
Yes. So for our on-site generation business, our core scope of offering are alkaline water electrolysis hydrogen generators. We have a core product range that basically was fundamentally changed about a decade ago when the company decided to put the vast majority of its resources for electrolysis on pressurized systems. We developed a whole generation of a whole range of products spanning from 10 up to several hundred normal cube hour of hydrogen generation for on-site applications. Over the course of the past decade, we had several generations of products, and the last 2 years we developed the 5th generation of our product, and that 5th generation, the focus on that development was on developing a product that was more standardized and offered more modularity, both to us as a manufacturing organization, but also to our customers. The focus was also on reducing the footprint of that design, and we were successful in reducing by a factor 2 the footprint for a similar capacity with that 5th generation development. Other aspects on which we focused were energy efficiency. We had significant upgrades of our systems, and we used smart integration ideas in order to reduce our energy consumption or improve our energy efficiency. And depending on how we integrate it at the customer end, that efficiency improvement is somewhere between 5 and 10%. Then the other focus in the development of Type 5, the 5th generation, was improving the safety level of our equipment. New standards have been developed or have been reviewed over the past years, new technology, new tools, new equipment became available, and we integrated that in the 5th generation. And then the last thing that I should mention maybe is that we really uplifted the level of automation that our product offers to our customers. So operability has clearly improved with the features and the modifications that we integrated in this 5th generation. So that development started in 2010, and it culminated in the first commercial unit that we delivered out to a customer in Europe the back end of 2011.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that was very good to see the first product being shipped out and commissioned and started up successfully a couple of weeks later. And what is better is that we're now 3-4 months later, and we have an order book of more than 50 units of Type 5 already achieved, which shows that there is a big interest of our customer base that still have the choice between Generation 4 and Generation 5, but most often pick Generation 5 because of all the improvements that we have embedded in the new design.
So you mentioned the modularity of the design, the footprint decrease, the efficiency increase, the safety focus, and the improved ease of operation. So when you're considering the modularity, why did you approach that? What advantages modularity give to you and then to your customer?
Yeah, well, when we started building these systems, most of the products that we shipped out were very customer specific, project specific. As the volumes increased, as we started to understand better the end applications, you could see creep in a standardization of certain subsystems of our product. We took the advantage of the build-up experience over the years, developed Type 5 to make a step change and really focus on standardizing the product so that we could create a context, a manufacturing context, where we can reap the opportunities of continuous improvement with more series type production, and that's basically what we are planning to do from now on with the 5th generation.
Something I found interesting with your modularity is how within the smaller footprint that you offer, you're able to offer customers different capacity loads, and they can actually upgrade the system and add to it if they need additional capacity within the system.
That's correct. I should have mentioned that before. So modularity basically for our customer, it also means that they can buy one housing, go for, let's say, the smallest capacity that we can offer in that housing, 10 normal cube hour of hydrogen production. And then gradually, as their capacity needs increase, scale up from 10, 15 to 30, 45, 60, and beyond if they add units to the existing model.
That's a clever way to maintain flexibility while stepping a little bit away from custom systems.
Yes, and I think it's important to do that because as we see the numbers increase, the volumes increase, we have an obligation also to our customers to over time make things more efficient, also from point of view of capex expenditure.
Okay, the other advantage that you mentioned was an efficiency improvement. Could you maybe speak to, and you said 5 to 10% depending on the system. So could you speak to how you got that efficiency improvement?
Well, I wish I could tell you and explain to you the details, but for that I would need some of my engineers to explain that. But one important aspect is that we basically use the heat generated by the power rack in a rethought ventilation logic of the unit in order to bring the overall energy consumption down.
So you recycle the heat production within your system?
You can call it recycling of heat.
So if that's your current system and your order book for the near future, where do you see your business going towards further beyond that?
So in our roadmap for the alkaline electrolyzer, we have some near-term objectives, and the near-term objectives are linked to the fifth generation, further upgrading the production of hydrogen that we can sweat out of the asset. So that program has already started, beginning of 2011, and we hope by the end of 2012 to build a first prototype to further crank up capacity that we can sweat out of one unit. So that's the near term. The other important thing on which we are working is high temperature electrolysis. We have engaged in a program with other partners where we will look at new novel membrane technology, novel catalyst, in order to put a significant step forward in the commercial use of high temperature electrolyzers, again in order to improve energy efficiency of the system. And then another important medium long-term development that we have engaged in is upscaling our current alkaline system. We have a current alkaline system which is a perfect fit for the need of the existing industrial markets, but with the power to gas opportunity that we see developing here in Europe, in Northern America and in certain parts of Asia, there is a need for an upscaled product. We have started that development. We will be ready with a prototype towards the end of this calendar year, and then we will hopefully see some deployment in first power to gas applications in Europe.
Okay. You also have PEM, Polymer Electrolyte electrolysis.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see that fitting in competition with the alkaline solution that you offer?
Well, I think in that respect, the fact that we have alkaline as a mature product and that we're still further developing, as well as PEM technology in the same corporation, that makes us unique in this business. We have since long been active with PEM, and we have been continuously improving the PEM cell stack and technology, and we have also demonstration projects at certain parts and sites in the world, deployed already years ago or more recently, and now we are very active in further upscaling our technology, again with a focus on renewable energy storage applications and with a focus on the power to gas opportunities.
Great. Before, I want to talk a little bit more about power to gas and an exciting recent announcement. But before I do, are there any questions from the audience before I go further? Okay, if not, so power to gas, an interesting announcement just in the last week even. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, so as probably a lot of the people have read, there has been a recent investment of the energy giant Enbridge in our company.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We're very happy with that commitment towards our company, but also towards our developmental capabilities from Enbridge. And this is the sort of partnerships, the sort of commitments that we are actively developing in order to develop the renewable energy storage opportunity, power to gas opportunity for our company. In order to be successful in this area, we need to have strong partnerships with energy companies who have a vested interest in the energy market, who have assets in the energy market, because it's very important to understand the details and the intricalities of this application in order to identify early market opportunities to economically develop the products and the application. We were first successful with Enbridge in Northern America, but we're also actively looking for partnerships in Europe and in Japan, and it doesn't necessarily need to be with a equity investment. That's simply a very strong sign of commitment, but we're looking at the whole range of commitments. What is important is that the partner needs to be an energy company with a very strong major vested interest.
Okay, so you're looking for partnerships, and in Enbridge's case, an equity investment is fantastic. Why can you speak to more why Enbridge in particular is such a strategic partner in terms of the infrastructure that they provide in applications for your product directly?
I think critical I think the hydrogen industry is finding a solution for storing hydrogen. We know for transportation applications that has been and is still a challenge. For refueling hydrogen applications, that is still a challenge. So a major breakthrough in technology in that area for those applications is very important for the hydrogen industry. Now, when you talk about renewable energy storage, the gas distribution network basically already solves that problem.
So in North America already there's a natural gas pipeline that goes all across North America, a distribution network that indeed hydrogen can flow into without any even equipment changes to the infrastructure. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Physically, basically, you can add up to 15% and maybe even more in certain circumstances hydrogen into the methane stream. Now, in many parts of the world, that is for regulatory reasons not still possible. But it is possible scientifically.
So it's more a political question or an experience or regulatory question. Do you see that as a large barrier?
It's a challenge, and again, I think in order to overcome this challenge, it's very important that you have energy companies who have a vested interest. We have a lot of political clout in order to swiftly adapt the legislation, the regulations, so that this opportunity, this very important societal opportunity, energy storage via hydrogen, becomes a possibility.
It seems like a very intuitive way to take renewable energy, turn it into hydrogen, which is easily stored and already distributed all across the country. It's a very exciting prospect, and I hope all the regulatory hurdles are able to be overcome. So congratulations on having a partner to help you do that.
Thank you. We're very happy with the commitment from Enbridge.
Great. So if there's no questions on that, I would like to invite you and help me thanking our wonderful speaker here and giving a fantastic and interesting talk on the electrolysis products available from Hydrogenics.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you.
Thank you, Filip. And we do have another talk coming up. Oh, I forgot to mention that if you have any more questions for Filip or for Hydrogenics in general, their booth is just behind you right there. Very convenient. So the next talk that we have is Solutions for Material Handling and Airports from Steve Jones, who is the Business Development Manager from ITM Power. Thank you.